Thanks for staying with us. Still on government, on Tuesday, the Senate resolved to probe affairs of the Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited and the National Oil Mining Company in Kogi State from 2008 till date. They plan to unravel the mystery behind the payment of $496 million to Mr. Pramod Mittal, the chairman of the Global Infrastructure Holdings Limited by the federal government in September 2022. Senate's resolution to this effect is equal to the motion sponsored by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. She said that the Ajaokuta Steel Company and the National Oil Mining Company located in Kogi State were established sometime back in the 70s by the federal government with potential to put Nigeria on the path of technological and industrial advancement. And we must probe why it's not been functional and why so much money has been invested in these companies and yet Nigeria is not benefiting from its products. Okay. Still in Punch, any other story?
Yes, we're taking in Punch. The interest hike. So the government policies that is portending a very dangerous trend for people. The private sector and the economists are foreseeing fresh job losses because anybody who's taking loan from the bank would have to pay more. They said that the benchmark has been shifted over 400 point basis. It's going to be a record high of 22.75%. So the central bank, as before it was 18.75%, but now the monetary MPC is moving to 22.75%. The CBN governor, Yemi Cardoso, disclosed this while reading the communique in the MPC meeting. And what this portends for customers and consumers, people that work in the bank, is by hiking the interest rates, everyone who already has a loan, which is not usually fixed interest rates, would have to pay more in return for their current interest rate. Members are saying that there's a scenario of they should hold the hike for now because we are also still dealing with inflation. That inflation currently is about 29.9% in Nigeria. We remember there was a peaceful protest that took place yesterday because of the hardship people are already facing. The NLC is also talking about this, but the central bank governor says he and his team are not responsible for the woes the country is facing, and that they are part of the solution. It's a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So I'm thinking that they should just a little bit pipe low.
Like they're just hitting Nigerians.
Everything, yes. Just
I remember on this table we've discussed inflation was like 16%.
Yeah.
We used to
now
it's 29%.
Yes.
God of Jesus. You have a story in Punch, we have to move?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the 3 bodies recovered, 11 rescued as Lagos boat capsizes. So 3 persons have been confirmed drowned after a boat ferrying 14 passengers capsized along the Ibeshe-Ikorodu channel of Lagos. And this occurs all the time. This is not the first time this thing is happening. I think this is like the 4th or 5th time this thing is happening. And also, I'm just thinking, what are the other precautionary motives that we're going to take to avert such from happening all the time? Yes.
Those are private boats, right?
Yeah, it's private. Assistant on saving their own lives by carrying their own life jackets. I know they sell it at the Jego Jetty in Satellite Town.
Yeah, so they don't wear their life jackets or something.
If you're someone that takes that road all the time.
But if you think you don't want to be wearing others, you can buy your own personal one and carry it in the bag.
Since you apply that rule all the time.
Every time I enter the Lagos State boat, they always insist.
They do, but I think sometimes the life jackets, they are all torn, some are torn, they are not, they are dirty and all. So, yeah, just get something for
Daily
yourself.
Sun, NLC defies threats, grounds Abuja states with protests. 3 die as 14 passenger boat capsizes in Lagos. Senate proposes 6-year single term for CBN governor and deputies. Divestment, IOCs free to exit. NNPC says NNPC Limited. How Kalu made Aba Power Project possible, Oti and Naji. Certificate suspend new guidelines on nurses and midwives, reps direct the NMCN. Benue governor probes Tom, I'm ready for you, says ex-governor. Removal of petroleum subsidy challenging, but for long-term security and energy. And food insecurity, Senate asked Tinubu to commence food stamps programs. Okay.
Okay, so the Senate committee, the Senate resolved and mandated its Committee on Health Institutions and Legislative Compliance to ensure that the Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria put a halt, or temporarily, but permanently, put a halt to their guidelines, their revised guidelines for the verification of nursing certificates that they issued by the council recently. The one we debated about, the 2 years requirement. I did not even know they also had other requirements, which included obtaining a letter of good standing from the chief executive officer of your last place of work, last training institution attended, and all of those other requirements. But the Senate said they are looking at it because there was a lot of opposition, objections to it. So they want to look into it detailedly before they direct our way forward.
Okay, let me take Governor Alex Oti of Abia State and the present CEO of Geometric Power, Professor Bath Naji, have eulogized former Governor Senator Orji Uzor Kalu for his intervention while in office, which made it possible for the establishment of the GPP. That's the Geometric Power Plant. The senator representing Abia North said to have granted a waiver that made the company, while he was in office, he actually granted that waiver to the company while in office and made it become attractive for investors. Speaking at the plant's commissioning, he specifically said that he must acknowledge I consider it appropriate to appreciate the efforts of former Governor Orji Uzor Kalu, who gave the initial waivers to Geometric, thereby partially de-risking the transaction. If those waivers were not in place, I'm not sure, as a banker, I would have touched it. He said that while underscoring Kalu's dedication to the Geometric Power Plant. So many of you know that recently, on Tuesday, I believe, the commission, this power plant, is going to provide 24/7 power to 9 out of 17 local governments in Abia State, which is a great feat for us here in Lagos, in Nigeria.
All right, so, yes, I'm taking the story about the slight drama taking place in Benue State. So the Benue State's current governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, has inaugurated a judicial commission. He has inaugurated 2 judicial commissions of inquiry to probe the management of the state's resources and assets under the previous administration of his predecessor, Chief Samuel Otom. And the 2 commission of inquiries were inaugurated. Of course, you know that the ex-governor would reply to say that he has nothing to hide. He said that the commissioned panel have promised that they are going to do their best to come up with recommendations that will help the government to move the state forward. They are going to do their investigation with due diligence, and that they have over the next 6 months to submit their reports. Otoma said he's not afraid of a probe. He made a statement through his media aid. He said that he's willing to even cooperate with the probe with every information that they need, because his administration was built on transparency, accountability, and good governance, that it would provide any clarification that they need. He has urged everybody that held political positions during his administration to also make themselves available to the panel. It doesn't sound like the typical political reply you would expect from someone who is about to be probed for how he spent money in administration, but we're looking to see 6 months is enough time to get the result.
Yeah.
Okay. Vanguard.
Okay, so
we have a story in
yes, we have a story of the total closure of the 3rd Mainland Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
The longest bridge in Nigeria is going to be shut for 24 hours,
Jesus.
Starting today from 12.
And you are island, you're going to...
I'm going to the island. So it's going to be closed and all for repairs. So this is just to allow the contractor to execute major repairs on the road and all. So very soon, I'm sure all the other routes are going to be congested today. So today, it's going to be a traffic.
Anybody island, please.
Gridlock.
I've cancelled any island. This whole week, sir.
Gridlock today.
Honestly. Okay, Vanguard, very quickly. NLC gives 17-point demand to Tinubu suspense protest. CBN jerks up benchmark interest rates to 22.75%. Lagos shut 3rd Mainland Bridge. Tinubu explains petrol subsidy removal decision. Igodalo begs Shebu, others for support, promises inclusive government. Suspicious $26 billion passed through Binance Nigeria in 1 year, says Cardoso. I'd love to get that story. You have that?
I read it too.
Please do. I saw it online.
According to him, in response to the Securities and Exchange Commission, who had said that the Binance Nigeria Limited, which is a subsidiary of Binance, was an illegal establishment. The CBN governor was speaking and said they were working in collaboration with SEC to ensure that no manipulation of there's no manipulation of the FX market, and he said that they are concerned that certain practices go on that indicate illicit flows going through a number of these entities, suspicious flows at best. And he said in Binance's case, in the last 1 year, $26 billion passed through Nigeria from sources and users that they cannot adequately identify, and that there's a lot that is going on now as a result of collaboration with SEC and EFCC and the police, of course, and the Office of the NSA to ensure that this stop, and that the more information they get, they will share with us how it is done. But 26 billion is not small money, it's huge. And I don't understand how you run a business without doing due diligence. I'm just hoping that these are not some of the reasons we are suffering hard.
Any other story in Vanguard?
Yeah, I'm taking the story about Aswe Ighodalo. So we are, I'm with Team Aswe Ighodalo on this, but anyway, when he was picking up his certificates of, no, not is it certificate of return? Certificates that he won the primaries from the PDP. Oh, certificate of return for the PDP. He said that he appealed to all his other contestants, mentioned Sheibu, that it would be impossible for him to be able to do what he wants to do if there isn't teamwork, and that his promise is to make the youths of Edo State, their creativity, their hard work for them, and for him to do that, he would want the PDP team to work with him, the entire PDP. They should set aside their personal injury concerning how they feel the primary went, that this state is going to work for Edo people, and it will be a pride for PDP. I just know that our road in Ewo is going to be good. So
I think if all other state governors follow this route, we are going to come out very well.
It spoke very well, though.
It's not about the party.
So for those of us who have been following Obaseki, we understand that he's one of the reasons why he's supporting this guy is because of he wants someone that thinks like him. But at the same time, we have to also understand Sheibu. He's a politician.
So
we have to find a way to merge. Yeah, we have to merge both, because you can't have one without.
Which is why I like his language of begging. And he said, I'm begging, and he mentioned the names and said, I'm begging that let's work together.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are begging.
Mima, he did not say Bella Bushika. So this is that kind of begging. Bushika is wicked person.
Hey, can you imagine?
Okay, I was going to take a story. So our president, I need to take his story because I feel that it's important for him to keep talking to us. Because when Nigerians are going through this kind of pains, it's important to hear from our president. So he's speaking again. President Bola Tinubu, in his address, explained that the decision to remove subsidy on petrol was a challenging one, but necessary to ensure the transparent and accountable energy sector. Specifically, he said, I am acutely aware of the immediate impact this decision may have had on our citizens, especially those with lower incomes. Therefore, in parallel with the subsidy removal, my administration is committed to implementing social intervention programs to mitigate the short-term effects on vulnerable populations. These programs will ensure that the burden of the subsidy removal is shared equitably and that most vulnerable amongst us are protected. This is crucial because I'm told, I read in papers that they're hoping to have some food stamps programs, stuff to help the poor where they can at least feed in the minimum. Yeah. So it said the petroleum subsidy was over the years strained our economic resources, leading to inefficiencies and, most importantly, hindering our ability to invest in critical areas and sectors. Okay, any other story in Vanguard? Let's move on quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. End hunger hardship, protesters tell Tinubu. NIN, court stops telcos from deactivating phone lines. Building collapse, claims 7 in Anambra. 3 dead as 14-passenger boat sinks in Lagos. Appeal court dismisses application of 16 sacked Plateau PDP lawmakers to review their cases. NDLEA intercepts largest consignment of heroin at Lagos airports. Who has that story?
I have it, so it's very, I don't even know how we are complaining and people are still bringing drugs into the country. Anyway, the NDLEA, in doing their job, intercepted the largest consignment of heroin at the Murtala Muhammed Airport in Lagos. There was a news briefing at the NACO shed of the NDLEA office on Tuesday where the guy himself, Olori Okubambam, Brigadier Obama, because he had to come and address the matter, that this operation started since February 10th. That the operatives had been in the Lagos State Airport, intercepted a suspicious package from SACO. and the consignment had 15 cartons of 2,300 watts of metal cutting machine, and stock within the machine are 45. They recovered 45 blocks of illicit substance at weight total of 49.7 kilograms. That's huge considering the cost of drugs. Usually these hard drugs cost. So he said after the discovery, they were methodological, whatever. So they did their investigation. They found that it was they found the clearing services, the logistics company, and all of those that were involved. They did a follow-up to the warehouse in Shogunle area of Oshodi and arrested the warehouse manager. They interrogated the people that will be distributing the drugs. We're still waiting to hear. I wanted to be sure if they were able to grab the source, but we did not hear that they grabbed the source. But at least we seized this one.
NDLEA is working.
They are working.
Support them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on a short break now. When we come back, what's our next segment? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.